everybody, welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. I am the owner of NoDQ, Aaron Rift, here to talk about WWE and TNA, and we'll see what else. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get right down to your questions. Aaron, I love the Q&As. What are your thoughts on Mr. Ziggles pulling double duty to 2 straight pay-per-views? I think it speaks to him being the best damn up-and-comer in the WWE. He is very, very talented. IMO, Ziggles has the best, no, Dr. Ziggles has the biggest upside as any mid-carder. Congratulations. That was the most bizarre question I've ever gotten in the history of No DQ&A video. Not so much the fact of the content, but rather how you expressed it. Very bizarre. Anyways, I think it's a good idea to have there you got me going. Ziggler work in 2 matches, because if he ends up losing the title, then he can, in classic heel fashion, talk about how he had to wrestle twice in one night and it wasn't fair, so on and so forth. My issue is with his opponent. Now, logic would tell you that his opponent would be the guy that they've been building up the last several weeks, the guy that they've been doing a storyline with. You know, the whole petition for Zack Ryder to get the U.S. title match, but no, it's not Zack Ryder who's going to be facing Dolph Ziggler this Sunday. It's John Morrison. John Morrison, the same John Morrison that has been on a losing streak. WWE admitted it on national television. The same John Morrison that might be leaving the company. Now, maybe he signed a new deal. We don't know at this point. We know that his contract was set to expire sometime around the end of the year. So I don't know what's going on. I'm really perplexed by the whole situation. One would think you would want to put Zack Ryder in a big match at Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden. You know, he lives on Long Island, so it's basically his hometown, and build it up you've been building it up, and is WWE afraid that Ryder might overshadow The Rock and Cena in terms of getting the biggest pop of the night? I don't know, but between that and the whole way they've been handling R-Truth and Miz, I'm just going to say it right now. I do not think that WWE deserves your $50. Now, I'm not saying to go watch the pay-per-view illegally. I do not support that, but they just have not been promoting this pay-per-view well at all. And it's very frustrating. And, I mean, I guess it's always possible that at the last minute, Ryder could be added to the match, but it's just stupid. Why announce like on Saturday or Sunday, oh, by the way, Ryder is going to be in the match after all? Wouldn't it make more sense to announce it on Raw, you know, when like 5 million people are watching? I am at a loss for words. Just, like I said, very frustrating. Hey, Aaron, please put this in video. Your wish is my command. My question is, are you worried for the WWE the day that Vince McMahon decides to give it up fully or, God forbid, dies? Well, first of all, Vince McMahon is not going to retire. He will be done with WWE the day he dies. That is my firm belief, that he's always going to be involved one way or another. Now, a few years ago, I would tell you that I would be concerned about WWE's future. But now, going back to a few minutes ago, when stuff like Zack Ryder not being on the pay-per-view happens, when Miz and R-Truth are completely buried on TV going into a pay-per-view main event. I mean, how hard is it to just... You knew you were going to do this Survivor Series main event a couple months in advance. So why not push Miz and R-Truth and try to make them credible opponents for Rock and Cena? How hard is that? You just say, okay, these guys are going to win a bunch of matches. They're going to get some heel heat on John Cena, maybe some heel heat on The Rock. But no, John Cena beat up both guys single-handedly. The Rock gave both guys the rock bottom, so what's the point? I mean, stuff like this makes me think that Vince McMahon is just completely out of touch with his product in 2011. And I'm starting to think as each day progresses, I'm starting to believe that Vince being gone might actually be a good thing for WWE's future, because maybe what you need is some youth. You need somebody with a fresh vision and who is kind of... has it together with pop culture and understands pop culture better. And, WWE's trying to do the thing with Twitter, but they're overdoing it, and they just don't really understand that the thing with Twitter is that a lot of things can trend. Just because something trends on Twitter doesn't mean that it's a hot commodity. I mean, Austin Aries was trending on Twitter. It meant absolutely nothing. So that's all there is to it, and WWE just doesn't understand that. You would think that, this multi-million-dollar corporation would get it, but they don't. And perhaps it has a lot to do with Vince. I'm just saying. Hey, Aaron, what was your favorite WrestleMania theme song? Written in the Stars from this year was great, but the best, in my opinion, has to be Peter Gabriel's Big Time from WrestleMania 22. I think my favorite was actually WrestleMania 23 with Ladies and Gentlemen by Saliva. I thought that was a really catchy song for WrestleMania. It kind of fit in with the whole atmosphere of the 70,000 people. I like that theme. And, of course, I liked the corny Linda McMahon WrestleMania theme that they used in the mid-90s. I always marked out for that theme a lot. Hey, Aaron, thoughts on WrestleMania 24? Decent pay-per-view. I know a lot of people liked it a lot. I thought the most memorable thing, obviously, was Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair, the retirement match. But in hindsight, it doesn't really mean all that much to me anymore because Flair ended up coming back, as I kind of expected. But, when Flair retired in 2008, I somewhat believed it. I thought that a 60-year-old man, he was having this epic send-off. I thought this was really going to be it for him. But then he just came back, so... Yeah, looking back, WrestleMania 24 had a few good matches. Undertaker and Edge was a good match, but I didn't think it was such a great match. I thought that I think it's a little bit overrated. I mean, first of all, I can barely remember anything from that match other than Charles Robinson sprinting down to the ring really fast. And I mean, it was technically a good match, but the problem is I never saw Edge as a credible threat to Undertaker's streak. And the way they built up that match, I just didn't buy it that Edge could beat Undertaker. And it kind of hurt the excitement level for me watching that match. It was somewhat anticlimactic. I'm like, okay, I know Undertaker's going to win, so let's just get it over with. And that's just how I felt personally. I'm sure other people felt differently and appreciate the work rate between those two, but I wasn't a really big fan of the match. I actually thought there were a lot better Undertaker WrestleMania matches. The two matches with Shawn Michaels, the matches with Triple H, the match with Flair, the match with Randy Orton from 21. So I would put the Edge match somewhere in the middle. But yeah, overall, Money in the Bank was okay, and the WWE title match, the triple threat, Orton, Triple H, and Cena was okay. Mayweather Big Show was good for what it was. Decent WrestleMania. But far from the best. Aaron, did Undertaker and Triple H have any problems in WWE backstage? To my knowledge, the only real problem they had was early 1998 when Shawn Michaels was having his latest career-threatening injury and was possibly going to miss WrestleMania 14 to drop the title to Steve Austin. Back in those days, it seemed like every time Shawn Michaels had to drop the title, like he'd have some sort of career-threatening injury. And I think Undertaker, the gossip and the story going around is that Undertaker threatened Michaels and said, "You better drop the title or else you're gonna have a big problem with me," kind of like somewhat of a threat. So other than that, I've never really heard that they had any problems. What are the chances we see Booker T in the ring again for an extended period of time, or do you see him more like King where he'll appear in matches every now and then? Well, I do expect him to have one last run. That's pretty much what's been going out right now, and he's been talking about it. I think he said something on his Twitter, and it was rumored that he would be doing something with maybe Cody Rhodes. I definitely see it happening, him having just one last run in the ring, and I don't know if I don't think he's gonna do the King gimmick. I think he'll just be Booker T. But yeah, I look forward to it. I like to see him get one more run and end his career on a high note. All right, that about does it for NoDQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. You can submit a question, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. And please subscribe. Please spread the word. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.